One other thing I would like to address as it relates to homosexuality is one of the lies that the religious right, Christian conservatives, you name it, have put out there, is that homosexuals are destroying marriage. If you look at what Jesus teaches that marriage is between one man and one woman for life. The problem with our nation as it relates to homosexuality is that heterosexuals, including churches, have removed the for life part of the marriage covenant. We have embraced divorce, rampant divorce, divorce for any reason, remarriage, which is a destruction of the marriage covenant. And then we have gotten angry when we have removed words from a definition, when other people add words or twist words in the definition. This is one of the things that really upset me as it related to the big push in Florida for the marriage amendment, is many of the pastors who were pushing for the marriage amendment kept saying God's definition of marriage is one man and one woman. God's definition of marriage is one man and one woman. And I remember going, no, it's not. No, it's not. You are redefining marriage, and you are trying to define marriage for the rest of our society, and it's not God's definition. Marriage is a blood covenant between one man and one woman, ordained and instituted, brought together by God for life. It is a lifelong blood covenant. And one of the pastors that was pushing it, he was allowing a man in his church to be ordained as a deacon who had stolen another man's wife, and then was saying that homosexuals were destroying marriage. No, it was a man in his church that was destroying marriage, who was literally tearing apart a marriage for his own sexual desires. And yet the pastor who blasted the homosexuals for destroying marriage was allowing marriage to be destroyed under his own nose because he had redefined marriage. Jesus is very clear in Matthew 7 that we are to get the beam out of our own eye. We really have no business talking about other people's sexual sin when sexual sin is rampant among those who profess to be Christians. We really have no business of condemning homosexuals for destroying marriage when we continue to turn a blind eye to the divorce and the destruction of marriages that take place within our own churches. We must be people, if we're going to champion marriage does not mean that we stand between one man before one man and one woman. Champion marriage means that we encourage and help and have resources available for those who are struggling to stay married, to help mend their marriage. If we want to be champions of marriage, then we need to realize that many of those who come out as homosexual come from broken homes where they were sexually abused and there was an absent father. If we want to heal marriage and we want to stand for marriage, then we must do everything within our power to get the beam out of our own eye, to fix broken marriages, to encourage hurting couples to stay together, to set the example for them of long marriage, to stand by what Jesus said, to stand on what God says in the Old Testament where he hates divorce. Before we begin to blast homosexuals for destroying marriage, it's time we took the beam out of our own eye. It's time that we looked in the mirror and said, wait a minute, marriage is for life. And before we go and bash someone for changing the one man and one woman to one man and one man, we need to go and put for life back in the definition. We need to go back and we need to strengthen our own marriages, because quite honestly, the institution of marriage was destroyed long before homosexuals ever got a hold of it. And it was destroyed by people who said, you know what, the for life doesn't matter anymore. I can have sex with whoever I want to, and if I'm tired of you, I'll trade you in for a younger model. If things aren't going well, we're not till death do us part, it's till divorce do us part. And that's a whole other topic for another day on how to strengthen your marriage. But let's keep Jesus' words in mind. And let's deal with our own sin first before we begin to accuse others of destroying that which we've already broken.